All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. All right, we are back again on the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. It's another day, another video. I actually took last 24 hours off. Wasn't really much to comment about, but every now and then the break is good. However, we are back now, and once again, I do really want to say thank you to each and every one of you guys. We have crossed 8,000 in recent times, 8,000 subscribers. I will put out a nice post in the community section in YouTube. Do check that out. Thanking each and every one of you guys. Honestly, the support has been magnificent. But today, I really want to talk about, because obviously we've got one more game before the international break kicks in again. So it's against Burnley. And since the last international break, we've been winning pretty much every single game. In fact, we've won every single game. Obviously, the Southampton one in the Carabao Cup was a draw, but we ended up winning it in the penalty shootout. You know how it is. So at the end of the day, we've won everything since the last international break. Now, I just thought after this international break, this new one that's coming up, a lot of our injured players are going to come back, hopefully. And players that have been ill or managed in recent times, like your Kante and Mason Mount, hopefully they should be back as well. Whether they play in the upcoming match, I'm not really sure against Burnley. Probably they will. Kante might be back. Mason Mount might be back. We'll see what happens. But I thought it's perfect opportunity right now, before the next international break, to really assess which players in recent times have taken the most advantage of the injuries that has happened, injuries and the illness and the risk management players that we've got. Which are the players that have really taken the opportunity in order to warrant a particular situation post the international break, the coming up one, to put themselves out there, to be in the mix in the starting lineup? Which other players that have done a really good job whilst all those other players have been injured? Because I feel as soon as Lukaku, Timo Werner, Mason Mount, all of these players, Kovacic, once they're all fit, the competition is going to get even harder. The players that are getting an opportunity, if you don't impress right now and secure a spot, when they come back, your life is going to get even more harder. So I thought let's go through 4 particular players. I'm going to pencil down 4 because there are other players that maybe we'll touch on a little bit, but 4 players that are most important right now that have been getting a lot of minutes in recent times, and I want to see who has taken the advantage of this particular situation of players being injured. Firstly, obviously, I'll provide my opinion. I want to hear what you guys have to say as well in the comment section, and let me know, what you think about my opinion. And please, I sincerely ask each and every one of you guys, just be respectful when you do reply. Don't need to insult anyone in the replies, or even myself in the comment section. If you disagree, that's fine. But do it with a little bit of respect. Now, let's get straight into this. Callum Hudson-Odoi is the first one we want to talk about. For me, ladies and gentlemen, Callum Hudson-Odoi is probably the one that has taken immense, opportunity. Like, he's taken full advantage of this opportunity of other players being injured. He's been getting the time since, I believe, from the Norwich game he started. I don't think he started against Malmo. I could be wrong, but yeah, from the Norwich game is where I can I completely remember he started. Maybe against Malmo, the first leg that we played against Malmo, but especially from Norwich. Then there was the Southampton game. Then there was the Newcastle game, and then the recent Malmo game. I thought Norwich, he was fantastic. He was absolutely sublime. Scored a goal, brilliant goal as well, and was in the back of the own goal as well. Really, it was his manufacturing that particular, that own goal that Norwich scored. So for me, fantastic. Against Southampton, he started from the right wing back, and he wasn't really good. And we all know that's not his position. And Thomas Tuchel knows that as well. He does a job for us because the team requires it. But as soon as he moved to the left wing back, he was looking good in that particular match against Southampton. He moved to the left wing in the second half when there was about 15, 20 minutes to go. And he moved there and we started to look a lot better. So Southampton game, I would have to say when he moved to his natural position, he looked really good. Newcastle, I personally thought he played really good. He was direct. A lot of people were saying he wasn't direct enough. But if you look at the first goal that we scored, which was a Reece James cracker, it had a lot to do with Callum Hudson-Odoi pushing from that left side and then creating that havoc inside the box. And then ultimately the ball lands towards Reece James. And throughout the game, he was probably the one that was a bit more direct. So for me, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Newcastle was a very good game. And then against Malmo, look, first half, no one was really that good. And I wanted a little bit more from Callum, of course. He wasn't showing up for the ball enough, but in the second half, that assist was sublime. And many can say, well, what else did he do besides that assist? To be honest, not much, but that was a critical moment for that particular match. That was a match-winning situation. That assist was as good as a goal, to be honest. So for me, this particular player has taken full advantage of recent injuries and players that have been ill or whatnot. And he has put himself into the mix of when these players, these injured players come back. Callum Hudson-Odoi is probably one player that has really put his hand up to say, I need to be in the mix. And I'm all up for it, to be honest. I don't think when Timo Werner comes back, and now Pulisic is back as well, by the way, I don't think those guys are just automatic. We need to give Callum Hudson-Odoi a bit of a thought. And I think he should start against Burnley, even though Pulisic in that cameo against Malmo looked really good. I think a start is a bit too early for Christian Pulisic, but I expect Callum to start and I expect him to be in the mix even after the international break. Let's go to the next particular player, Hakim Ziyech, ladies and gentlemen. This is one player. I love him so much, ladies and gentlemen. I love him, honestly. When he scored that goal against Malmo, I was just ecstatic. I was so happy. He got that assist against Newcastle. But I have to say, he's one player that has not taken opportunity. Forget about players when they've been injured. Obviously, he's been playing in the last few matches because Mason Mount's injured. And we don't have any other sort of players in that situation. Werner is injured as well. Kovacic is injured. So Ross Barkley obviously is not going to get a game ahead of Ziyech. So Ziyech has been starting against Newcastle and against Malmo. And previously as well, against Norwich, he came off the bench. He actually looked all right against Norwich coming off the bench. He was just shooting left, right, and center, and he was actually looking all right. There was a particular assist he missed out in that game as well. But overall, even Newcastle, he was showing up for the ball a lot, which I liked, but he didn't do enough with the ball. He kept on getting dispossessed, missed time passes. His pressing wasn't in a unit. And in a game where against Newcastle, who were parking the bus, you just expected that Hakim Ziyech was going to do a lot. His shooting was going to be on point, but nothing was on point. And coincidentally enough, whether you want to call it coincidence or whether it was a tactical, brilliant masterclass from Thomas Tuchel, as soon as he came off against Newcastle, we started banging goals. So he's one player, even though he scored that goal against Malmo, fantastic, a lot of people say it's a tap-in, but you still need to make the run, be in the right position, collect that cross. Look, it was all Callum Hudson-Odoi, no doubt about that. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't just call it just a tap-in against Malmo. It was a good goal. But I don't think he's done enough. Even against Malmo, I don't think he has done enough in that particular match. So this is one player, he's really in trouble. And I feel like if he gets one more opportunity against Burnley, he has to nail it. He has to nail it in order to be in contention to start once the international break is finished, because there's going to be games thick and fast. Next, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my days. This guy has not only taken his opportunity, he is now well and truly in the mix of should he be starting in midfield. Ahead of perhaps Kante. Ahead of perhaps, Jorginho. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not advocating for it. I know Kovacic before he got injured. And I still think Kovacic has been the finest midfielder for us. The numbers speak for it as well. 5 assists, I think, in the Premier League. And he's been very progressive, Kovacic. His passing has been very progressive this particular season. He's looked really good. I don't know whether Kovacic is actually going to be back after the international break. It is a hamstring injury. And Thomas Tuchel did say he could be out for a few weeks. We'll see what happens. There's 2 weeks to go until the next set of matches start after the international break. But this guy, I've said it, against low blocks, against teams that are going to sit deep, I don't want to see Jorginho and Kante. I personally don't want to see that because I feel that's a bit too much. I need a midfielder in that double pivot that's capable of getting assist and goal. This guy has missed out on 2 assists yesterday against Malmo, or day before yesterday against Malmo, and he deserved those 2 assists against Kai Havertz. He really did. He absolutely deserved it, and Kai Havertz just couldn't finish it. But this guy he's having a season. He's absolutely back with a bang, robust. I think he's got a couple of assists in the Premier League, or 1 assist in the Premier League, 1 in the Carabao Cup, something like that. He'll be in the mix with the goals very soon, I can tell. He's got good shooting technique, great passing ability. Those balls to Kai Havertz were sublime against Malmo. Honestly, they were. And he is in the mix. Jorginho and Ruben Loftus-Cheek is a pivot that I like a lot, because it gives Jorginho as the sitter, and Ruben Loftus-Cheek is the guy who will find assists and will find goals. So he's having a stunning season, and I hope he continues like this. Many matches coming up. He's going to get a lot of game time, and he's in the mix. He's in the mix. He's breaking that up. That Kovacic, Kante, Jorginho situation. He's breaking it up. Let's move on to the last particular player that I want to talk about before we talk about a couple of other players. Kai Havertz. Ladies and gentlemen, many have said in social media that I've been a bit harsh. I personally don't think I have been harsh. Kai, against Malmo, the first time we played, he was very good. He was actually very good. Pressed well, linked up well, dropped deep, scored that goal as well. He was excellent. Against Norwich, I don't think he was that good. We smashed in 7, but he's probably the one player that didn't look that great. His pressing was a bit off, got dispossessed in silly areas, missed on passes. Overall, just didn't like the energy that he was providing. Against Southampton, he scored the goal. He was actually looking good that entire match, not just scoring the goal. The first half especially, he was looking good. He was the one player that was looking to take more shots, took his players on. He was looking very good. Against Newcastle, once again, not many players were playing good, but he was one of them that was just a bit silent. I know he ended up getting that penalty, great movement, but I wanted to see those movements a lot more in the first half. Drop deep. When you know there's so many players, drop deep. You have the capability of, passing. You've got the vision. You don't necessarily just need to sit there. Sometimes you can drop deep and help out and find those, different solutions against Newcastle. Look, against Malmo, missed 2 opportunities. It comes across as if I'm being harsh, but I just have a lot of expectation for this particular player. He's one player, as I'm saying, when those injured players come back, I don't know if he's put his hand up to say, I'm definitely in the mix of starting. I don't know. When Timo Werner and Lukaku comes back, Mason Mount comes back, I don't know if Havertz is an automatic starter. Forget about automatic, whether he's actually even in the mix to put his hand up. Right now, once Lukaku, Werner, and Mount are all set, Lukaku, will start. And then it's really 2 spots. Timo Werner will probably get a nod. And then it's Mount. You got Pulisic as well. Kai Havertz, Ziyech, Callum Hudson-Odoi. It's difficult. I wanted him to really take his opportunity during this injured period of other players to cement his position so that he can say, okay, when Lukaku's back, I want to still be the second striker. And I'm not really sure if he's done that, to be honest. That's my personal view. I want to know what you guys have to say about all of these 4 players. The other player that I want to talk about is Saul. Guys, he's not even done anything, to be honest. That game against Southampton in the Carabao Cup, he was actually pretty good. A header, good shots, good passing, good pressing as well. Didn't get muscled off the ball either. But besides that particular game in the Carabao Cup, he hasn't really featured much. And I worry that once the players are all fit, Kovacic is fit, Kante comes back, Ruben Loftus-Cheek's flying, I don't know if Sal's going to get any game time, to be honest. I know there's a lot of games that are coming up in December, but in November and December. But Saul seems to be a massive surplus at the moment. And sometimes even Ross Barkley comes ahead of Saul. So that's a little bit about all the players that I want to touch on. Please, guys, let me know what your thoughts are on all the players that I've said. Who, in your opinion, has taken the most advantage during this time frame where other players have been injured? Who's made the most impression for you? Who's put out a statement that once these players come back, these injured players, these players that have been, ill, or risk-managed players, when they come back, who's the one player that has made immense impact for you that they should be in the mix now in the conversation of starting lineup? So let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button. And if you're here for the first time, subscribe, hit the bell notification to keep in touch with all my content. Please make sure you smash the like button. Honestly, helps the channel out a lot. I can't emphasize it enough. Until next time, everyone. See ya.